Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. This is Amy. Today I'm going to show you my version of painting a gardenia, and I will be using two flat brushes. One is a number 12, the other one is a number 8. Both of these are one-stroke brushes and they're sold by Plaid. I'm going to be using Happy Green, Thicket, Wicker White, and Moon Yellow. Now these paints, look at them, are all multi-surface paints. And to get started, I'm going to do just some base coating here before I actually start painting the flower. And oops, I forgot this one, sorry. Forgot to tell you about this one. This one is metallic silver. And so I'm base coating because when you're doing a white flower, you need to have some kind of contrast, and it seems like silver is a good way to go. So I'm just going to paint a few of them here and show you my version of the gardenia. If you do something different, I mean, obviously that's fine, but this is just, you know, my version of it. And I go ahead and do one more. I like to do sets of 3. Now you could blow dry these just to give them some drying time, but I'm going to be kind of using, I am going to be using the silver with my design, so I'm not going to bother doing that. I'm going to be mixing together the, not necessarily double loading, I guess I am double loading to start off with, but the Wicker White and the silver. And just a very simple stroke. You just kind of push down, pull up just slightly, and then push down some more. Let me go ahead and do this again. I'm going to add some more white here so maybe it's easier to see. I'm pushing it down, kind of swinging it around. I just want to have it ever so slightly tip. If it's a little bit bigger, that's fine too. And then you can kind of go over it again if you want to with the white. Alright, and then I'm just going to keep going with this type of a petal. Slight peak, and go like that. And I can go back up a little bit if I want, just to make it more opaque, and then just keep turning. Keep on turning. And then raise up slightly and push back down. Just to get more of a rounded, like I said, more of a rounded petal with just a slight peak. Again, this is my take of what I see when I look at a gardenia. And a slight peak, and then push it down again. Slight peak, push, and then turn. And keep turning. Because I want it to be more of a fatter petal, not a thin petal, but just with a very slight little peak to it. And I did stick my finger in that. I'm always sticking my fingers in my painted areas. Just lift it up and then pull it down. Again, if you feel like you need to go over it again, that's more than fine. Just do it and come back down. If you need to fill it in a little bit more, you can do that, whichever direction you wish to go. The next set is still going to be using the number 12 brush, and then I'm going to be trying to go in between these a little bit, as much as I can. Going in between the initial petals. Go like that. And then just keep on going. And so you can just keep doing this, even if you, because you're layering, even if you have an issue with what you painted below that, you're going to be covering it up anyways, so that's fine. Keep that in mind, not to spend too much time trying to fix something if you think it's not thick enough, because you're going to be going over it again anyways. And that will, by doing this, that will be adding some thickness to it. Alright, so I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to do one more layer with this brush, and then switch over to the smaller brush. Like that. So far I think it's pretty. I hope you like it. If you do, give me a big thumbs up. If you paint this style of flower and maybe do it a different way, please give me your comments down below. They're all appreciated. Alright, and like I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and start with the smaller brush. Hopefully it'll make big enough petals. So I don't want them to be too big in the center. I want to gradually, probably maybe even in between size would be fine. And I think those look good. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments. If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever I post something new. And definitely, if anything, if you would give me a big thumbs up at the end of this video, I would appreciate it. Now what I'm painting on today, I'm just using it as an item. It's glass, and I can wash it off and paint new designs on it. But it could be used as a candle holder, flower vase, if you wish. You could actually use it as a decorative piece where you put maybe some pretty type of balls in it, that are textured, or pine cones. Any kind of decoration that you want to would be pretty on the inside of this. Little battery operated candles would be pretty. It's just a pretty shaped vase. Okay, so my final step here is going to be adding some of the yellow, which is the moon yellow, and I'm going to do that through the center. And I'm just trying to think, because I want it to stand out a little bit, but I want to kind of make it to where, it shows and it's not flat. Because some of the centers I'm seeing on the gardenias are just, a lot of them are white with a touch of yellow in the center. I want to do it like this to where it has, kind of stands up a little bit. It's not flat. And I'm just putting some layers here of it. And you can just have it like that, or you can have it open. It doesn't matter. Alright, let's go on to the next ones. I'll do one at a time. And I know I've seen on one of them where they just did a basic roundabout of the petals, just one layer, and then they did a center that had all of them kind of closed up in the center, meaning that it wasn't completely opened yet. Okay, but I don't think I'm going to choose to do that one today. Let's see how easy that is. When you base coat it, then you have a little bit of more thickness to the paint. Makes it a little bit more durable, which I think is pretty. Alright. Alright, we Just keep doing it. Very pretty. This actually kind of reminds me of a wintry design. A wintry design, you say? Yes, I do. I just want to keep it layered so that you can see the differences in between each petal layer. And you could have it to where it stands up, like I said, in the center where it's not completely open. I'm just going to continue on with this design that I came up with. It's a little bit of a break in the color there. All right. Let me know, like I said, if you think this is pretty, if you like it, if you've painted a design like this before, and then what you might change on this if you were to paint it yourself. And I'm going to go back in with the smaller brush now. Now I'm going to do this one, I think, with more of the open center, but let's go ahead and do some of the smaller leaves for the inside. Petals, I should say. Keep calling them leaves, sorry about that. If I say leaves and I'm painting the flower, please know that I'm meaning the flower petals. Not sure why that's such a thing for me. Because I like leaves so much. I do like leaves. Okay, on this one I'm going to do, I think, more of the open center. Let's see how that works. I guess I apologize, I'm not washing my brush off in between, so I have a little bit of yellow on these, which is fine. But typically I would wash it off in between. Alright. Okay, so now I'm going to just kind of wipe this off, switch over to the yellow moon and the white for the center. So what you could do is just go, just kind of quick little. I have seen some that had some red little lines. Here, so how I wanted to do it. Get this a little bit more in here. And then just make it a little bit more put a little bit more yellow in it. Go like that and it's open. Alright, one more to do real quickly. And then we'll throw some leaves in and we'll be done. This design that I'm painting can be created, oops, I'm doing backwards, sorry about that, can be created on any surface that you wish. It's not just for glass, but I'm doing it on glass. Doing it on glass. And we just keep going around and going around. Look how big those are. They're so pretty. So pretty. And just keep doing it. It's okay if it overlaps the flower next to it. It's perfectly fine. I encourage layering, as that's more what happens in nature. That one's got a little bit of gray on it. Alright, let's keep going here. Very, very pretty. Oops, almost went to the wrong part. Alright, I'll just keep doing it here. Alright, I'll keep going around. Keep going around and going around and going around. Yes. Alright, we're almost done with these. Keep going. Alright. Now one thing you need to make sure too, and I should have mentioned this, make sure you clean your glass before you start painting on it. And that, you wash it with soap and water. You can also go over it with rubbing alcohol to clean off the glass. The main thing is that you're getting any dirt and grime off of it, any oil that would maybe cause the paint not to stick. I'm going to go back into the smaller brush once again. Alright, here we go. Like I said, and just make sure that you do clean it well. That'll help adhere the paint to the glass. When you're done painting, if you're going to bake your project, you should allow it to dry at least an hour, and then put it in a cold oven. Then start your oven, add your preheat time to your bake time, and then when you're done baking, turn off the oven, allow the glass to sit in there and cool completely before you pull it out. That way, that is going to cut down the chances of it breaking. It's a sudden change in temperature that can cause glass to break. So you just have to be careful that you're not allowing it to change temperatures too quickly. One thing nice with this type of paint that I'm using, because I do use the FolkArt multi-surface and the enamels, is that you can actually air dry them for 21 days to be fully cured, and then continue on using them. They are actually dishwasher safe if you place them in the top rack of your dishwasher. That is very, very important. If you don't, you are going to notice, if not all of the glass, or not glass, but all the paint, some of the paint will actually come off if you put it in the bottom layer or bottom rack of your dishwasher. So again, it's very important that you only do the top rack. If you want to have the item around and in good shape for a lot longer, I would highly recommend that you do the hand washing, just to, keep the product nice. And that's just easily washing out the glasses. They're fine to use. That just gives them, just care like you would if you were using fine china. If you don't use fine china ever, then I guess that might be a little difficult to compare and to understand, but you really just need to handle them, you know, very, very easily in order to... Okay, so I'm just going to do just some wiggly little leaves here with these. Now also with this, I could base coat the green, but for the length of the video, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to tie up your time too much. You get the gist, I'm sure. Like I said, I do like to have my paintings be more opaque, so I like that. Just adding a little bit of green here. And there we go. Now, as on anything, you can do a variety of leaves. You don't have to do all the same type. You can rotate them to where, like say for instance, this one I'm going to have the lighter green on the outside. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do the lighter green on the opposite side. And that's fine. All these are the wiggly leaves. That's what I call them. Or I can do the kind where I have, okay, I'm going to have the darker on the one side, and then I'm going to have the lighter on the opposite outer side. Have the dark inside, and then I can still run a stem through the center if I wish. Okay, just demonstrating a few different leaves that you could use. Not sure what that is, probably from a past painting. It's only a problem with reusing glass that's been painted on, is getting the leftover paint off. Alright, so let's do another one that has all the lighter green on the outside. And sometimes I do just kind of tap it like this, because it actually will provide a darker, thicker paint. I don't mean darker as far as, but thicker paint, which will, you know, the thickness of your paint on your project is what will determine the durability. Also, if you do thicker coverage, that does make it more durable. Now, as far as durability between painting and then baking or painting and just letting it air dry, I'm under the understanding it's more durable if it is baked, but you can still do dishwasher even if you do air dry it. The main thing with air drying is that it's not fully cured until it reaches that 21 days. Doesn't mean you can't use it. I would definitely not put it in the dishwasher at that point until it's been the 21 days, but you can use it. You just have to be careful with it because it's not fully cured. And I'm just doing some filler leaves. Any of you know in the past that have watched my videos, you know I'm a leaf person. That's why I say when I'm saying leaves instead of petals, please understand that I'm hooked on leaves. Alright, well I'm going to stop with that now because I think I'm getting a little carried away with these leaves. A little carried away, but I think overall it's pretty. I hope you like this design. You know, one thing I wanted to mention too is what you could do is actually do some leaves as the background before you paint the flowers, but then you are going to need to give it some drying time to make sure that it's dry before you start painting over it. So you can hit that with a heat gun, hair dryer, give it some time, whatever you choose to do. Alright, so here we go. And I want to try to stand it up, but with the way I'm doing my videos right now, it's kind of hard. Again, this is a very pretty piece, something you can sit out as a home decor piece, add a candle on the side of it, put flowers in it, centerpiece for a table, just sit on the mantle. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with a piece like this. Definitely, if it were yours, you could paint it all around. For the purpose of the video, I'm just doing the front of it. Alright, so once again, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that share button underneath this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell. Any comments, please put those down below the video. I'd appreciate it. And thanks again for stopping by. Until the next time, have a good one.